The sun dipped low behind the old hills, casting golden shadows across the quiet village of Larkspur. In a weathered cottage at the end of a cobbled lane, Eleanor sat by the window, her fingers resting on a faded letter, her eyes tracing each word as though it were written just yesterday. "My dear," the letter began. It had been 32 years since she last heard those words in his voice. James. The man who had once promised her the world with nothing but a guitar, a dream, and a crooked smile. They were young then, reckless and full of hope. They'd spend hours beneath the oak tree behind the church, whispering secrets and plans for a future they never quite reached. War had come quietly but left loudly. James, determined and proud, had joined the army. Eleanor remembered the night before he left, the firelight dancing across his face, his hand trembling slightly as he tucked the letter into her palm. "Don't read it until you miss me so much your heart aches," he had said with a forced smile. She never opened it. Not at first. Not when the days were hopeful. Not even when the letters stopped coming. When the news arrived that James had gone missing during a mission, presumed dead, Eleanor's world paused. Her friends urged her to move on. Years passed. She taught at the local school, baked bread for church events, planted roses every spring, but she never left the cottage. Nor did she fall in love again. The letter stayed in her drawer, unopened, like a sacred secret too fragile to touch. Until today. Today, her fingers had trembled as she unfolded the fragile paper. And there it was. His words. Simple, yet heavy. "My dear Eleanor. If you're reading this, I hope you waited until your heart ached, because that means I meant something, even just a little. I don't know what the future holds. But I know this, you were my home. You were the only song that ever made sense. If I don't make it back, I need you to live. Really live. Laugh, dance, love, even if it's not me. You deserve a full life. Don't carry my shadow forever. But if someday, under a tree or by a fire, you remember me with a smile, then know this, I will have smiled with you from wherever I am. Yours always, James." Tears slipped silently down Eleanor's cheeks, but they weren't of sorrow. They were of release. Of love that endured. She folded the letter gently and looked out the window. A breeze danced through the garden. In the distance, the oak tree stood strong and unmoved. And for the first time in 32 years, Eleanor whispered to the wind, "I remember you, my dear. I remember everything." Then, with a heart lightened by love and memory, she rose to make tea not just for herself, but for the quiet joy of being remembered, and of remembering.